I feel like I'm just gonna sit here and watch this trailer. Heavensward, that's this expansion. It goes so hard. I will just sit here and watch this trailer. Good morning, everybody. I feel like I say this every time, but it's like, took one day off. Feels like it's been a while. I need a coffee emote. I only get four emotes. I'm wondering which one needs to go. Maybe Panic. That was more so for Baldur's Gate when we were in trouble. Doesn't really happen much anymore. We've left the stress behind us. Maybe when we get to the MSQ, we'll finish watching this. We're right at the end. I'm gonna finish watching this. This is so good. Twin Dragoon was a badass. Oh, what an intro, or yeah, an intro cinematic. That was really good. That one goes hard. It goes really hard, actually. Morning, everybody. Naturally, in our little in room, doing some squats. Gotta get ready for the day, you know. And I like that our little minion here is just sitting here on the little day bed, barking at, I guess, the storm going on outside. Weather effects, man, really good. We also had a little bit of a glamour change here, a little more of a, say, warmer weather. We hit the one pauldron there because that'll do a lot. But today, plan for today. So during the MSQ, or during the patch, we did the MSQ, and that usually entails a dungeon. And then I would say actually more recently, they throw in trials, because trials, which are the big boss fights, sometimes those would be introduced or weaved in with the MSQ, but in some of the earlier expansions, the trial would be its own separate story. It's like a trial series. We haven't had one of those in a while, and I kind of miss those because those are really good at expanding the world building, because we only have, the developers only have so much time to, tell the story and explore the world of 14. So those trial series were a really good way to talk about important locations that we wouldn't necessarily go to in the MSQ, because the MSQ, you know, it's got a MSQ. The train has to go forward as far as the more grand plot of Final Fantasy XIV. And we're definitely like up there as far as dealing with like constantly like almost like cosmic forces and world-ending things, when back in the day really wasn't so much like that. But with a patch, you get the MSQ, you do the story gives you a dungeon, and gives you a trial. So those are two forms of content, battle content. Well, what else do we get? When it's an even numbered patch, and counting the like 0.0. Well, actually, no, you don't get it on the 0.0. It's like the 0.115 or something like that. Anyways, on the even patches, we get alliance raids. What are alliance raids? They are large scale battle content with 24 people. There's a mixture of bosses and some like trash pulls, but mostly people do it for the bosses. And where does this content kind of fit into like the grand scheme of things? You do get gear from it, and you also get like these tokens to upgrade some of your later gear. And then alliance raids are kind of like a spectacle. Morning, Hex. Coffee's ready. But yeah, alliance raids also have their own story. Any piece of content in 14, there's a story involved with it, and then there's like a lore reason for being there and doing what you're doing. They never just throw in content where you just kind of like wander in and you just immediately do it. No, there's build up. There's usually characters to talk to. There's a story going on of why you need to go do whatever the new content is. So again, it's another thing I like about 14. The writing is always just expanding the world, even if it's like in small ways. So you have other side stories going on, and the one that we're dealing with now in this alliance raid, it's very much an homage to Final Fantasy XI. Now it's still early, but I mean, how many of you all have played Final Fantasy XI? 11 was the first MMO from Square Enix, the first MMO in the Final Fantasy series. Really like the first multiplayer for Final Fantasy. There always is that little fun trivia. Have you guys ever seen the movie Charlie's Angels? It's either 1 or 2. Anyways, with Drew Barrymore, she's going down, getting like knocked down like a hill or something, and she ends up at a house with these kids, and she's got like no clothes on, but then these kids are playing a game. They both have the controller in their hand. Anyways, they're playing Final Fantasy VIII, but Final Fantasy VIII is not co-op, so it's just always a funny scene, the fact that there's these two kids both playing Final Fantasy VIII together. It's like, it's not exactly how that worked. Anyways, that's a fun little bit of trivia. It's like they didn't really know what Final Fantasy VIII was, and like, hey kids, just put on this game and hold these controllers. But the plan today is to do the alliance raid. We'll take our time with it a little bit. It shouldn't be overly long. Alliance raids, well, because of the scale of the alliance raids, it's like, yeah, the classic here's your controller, plug it in. It's from for the older kid. Yeah, give the older kid the controller, the kid who's actually playing, and then just give the younger brother, sister, whatever, a controller to make them feel like they're important. That works nowadays. I do that with my son sometimes. I'm like, here's your controller, here's my controller. His controller has like no batteries in it and stuff. It makes sense. But we're gonna do the alliance raid, and then there's a lot more. Yeah, they do wise up about it. Yeah, around 3.5, that's when they start realizing, hey, my controller's not doing anything anymore. My son hasn't exactly caught on to that yet, thankfully. He's almost actually 3.5. Ooh, makes me feel old. But we will tackle the alliance raid, kind of see how that goes. And one of the, I would say, the bigger critiques of Final Fantasy XIV is how they wheel out content, because 7.5 is not just what we got, earlier this week. It's like there's a 7.51 patch, there's a 7.56 patch, there's a 7.5, or I missed the 5.5 patch. They kind of like spread out the content, and the idea behind it is so you don't feel rushed. That's really kind of what players tend to do, but in my opinion, you should just release as much of it as possible, and then people just enjoy it at their own pace instead of making us wait. But I don't think that's going to change. That is a big critique of the game, as far as something I'd even like them to see them improve is when they release content and making sure they release the more, I don't want to call it grindier content, but the more long form content, do that sooner. Because the things that we just experienced there, or we've already done, MSQ, you basically only do that once, and it takes we took three hours maybe. Dungeons, some people do farm them. Either you're doing that through the duty roulette system, just for tomes, again for gear, or you're farming the glamour inside the actual dungeon if you like the style. I don't really care for the style, so I'm probably not going to be doing the dungeon, and I already have my tome gear, so I'm good. And then the trial. People they don't farm the normal version of the trial, but that trial does get put into the duty roulette trial pool, so that's what that's good for. People usually do the extreme. And you do the extreme for like another weapon, and then more importantly, mounts, because each expansion has their trial series, and they all have like a theme as far as what mounts you get in them. For Dawntrail, the theme for the mounts are wings. And if you collect all the wings in all the trials, by the end of the expansion, if you have all of them, you get like an ultimate version of the wings, which is really, really cool. Have I ever done it? That sort of thing. No, because they do eventually, through this like Moogle Tome like event system, they give you those older trial mounts. And you can just kind of get them that way if you're patient. And farming mounts is... I don't grind. I'm not a grinder at all, as far as like just doing content on repeat. I'm very much take it at our own pace, have fun with it, and when it's done, it's done. That's kind of how I am as a gamer nowadays, where I just want to take my time. We'll just play it, and if it's fun, great. That's what we're looking forward to. Slow-paced fun. That's what we like around here. Could get sweaty, but yeah, don't really do that anymore. My dog's moving around out there. I got to keep an eye on her. But anyways, morning, Lana. Morning. Oh, I think that's enough squats. I think we're warmed up. You like to have fun? Yeah. That's why, like, MMOs are weird, because a lot of people, the old school mentality was grind, get to the end game to then start grinding more. I've never really subscribed to that. I don't like that at all, essentially. Even in, like, Guild Wars 1, where the game is broken up into campaigns, and then they usually have some sort of end game content, like in the form of like dungeons or whatever, like an end game zone where you farm for like cosmetic gear. I would never do that cosmetic gear grind. I'd go into like the underworld or whatever, like once. I'd see the content, I'd do it, I'd be like, cool. If I want to grind it, okay, it's there, I know how to do it. But more likely than not, I would literally just start up a new character, and then I'd just go through the campaigns again. That's kind of like my thing. Same thing for Guild Wars 2. It's like, I get to the end game, you get all your gear. That's super easy. But at a certain point, I'm just like, I'd just rather just kind of go through the journey again. Yeah, I mean, MMOs are good for that. They're good for like that second life content, and yeah, a second job, kind of. You could put it that way as well. I just like that MMOs are very, again, they go for that immersive factor. Large scale, you can take your time through it. You feel like you are going on this long journey. We were talking about WoW last time, but like that's why I like classic WoW better, because, well, the class fantasy I think is way better in classic WoW, as far as you were playing like, say, a paladin, you are playing, say, a hunter, and it feels like you get like little things to do that make your class shine. But that game is very much about the journey. Sure, they have the raids and everything like that, but most of the time you're going to be sitting there leveling and going through these zones, questing, and it's just kind of a vibe. So I don't really like I don't like seasonal content that just kind of like, it's just recyclable. It's kind of throwaway content to me. I hate the idea of developers making content that they're then going to just scrap months down the line. That really puts me off about a game. As that is again why I gravitate towards 14, because everything we're doing, every sort of content we're doing is then thrown back to the duty roulette system, which is evergreen. There's always going to be a queue for it. Somebody's always going to do it eventually. And so that's why I like 14, and that's also why I like Guild Wars 2, because Guild Wars 2 has that horizontal progression, which makes everything at level 80 viable. There's a reason to do it, etc. So that's kind of our MMO talk, I guess, for the morning. But nobody's played Final Fantasy XI, and I don't blame you. I have tried to play Final Fantasy XI, because Final Fantasy XI, that is what the Alliance raid, which we're going to do, is kind of based off of. We're doing like the Final Fantasy XIV version of Final Fantasy XI as far as their history and their lore. But I've always skipped 11 because I've gone back and played it, and I think it's rough. It's real rough. I understand that it came on the PlayStation 2, which in and of itself is just a huge feat. But as far as the game being on only PC now, it's something, that's for sure. And I think the problem comes down to the fact that I played Guild Wars as a kid around that time, and I think Guild Wars holds up extremely well. I still play Guild Wars. Guild Wars 1. By the way, that's coming out on phones, by the way. They released a little blog post talking about how Guild Wars 1 Reforged is being ported to the phone, and if you have a Guild Wars 1 account, you just get it on the phone, and all it, the mobile version is then connected to the PC version and everything. And they also released a new, well, not a new dungeon, kind of a new dungeon. We'll just say a new dungeon for Post Ascalon, where you get Ghost Althea. I think that's her name. Anyway, she's Prince Ruik's betrothed. She dies, and her ghost is wandering around that you can do a little quest for. Anyways, you get her as a hero now. Somebody to like walk around with you, and you can customize them and stuff. Crazy. Everybody who hasn't played Guild Wars is like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? But you Guild Wars fans, you know, it's like little things in that game that are like, that's a huge deal. That's content right there. Hex, you're too much of an introvert to play, dude. I'm also like an introvert when it comes to games. Like I'll talk and I'll interact when I need to, but I mainly like to just play solo. 14 is very solo friendly, but Star Wars: The Old Republic, I have played Star Wars: The Old Republic. I'm pretty sure I'm max level in Star Wars: The Old Republic, but that game has a content cadence problem where you don't know when you're gonna get new content in Star Wars: The Old Republic. But SWTOR is really, really good for solo play because everything is voice acted. The story for some of the classes are really good. I did Jedi Knight, and also you can do it for free, by the way. The first base story, and in my opinion, that's some of the best story in the game and worth experiencing. But I did the Jedi Knight when I first played that game. Amazing, ton of fun. Sith Warrior, pretty epic to be like a Sith that you're force choking people and you can be evil. It actually feels good in that game because a lot of the people that you do end up force choking or killing are really incompetent, or they're also evil bastards. So it's like you get to be the more evil bastard and kind of like climb your way up the hierarchy and the rankings. So Sith Warrior is amazing. What else is there? I'm trying to remember like the other stories where I'm like, wow, that was actually a good time. There is the Bounty Hunter, which is kind of like the Mandalorian. Not like you can be a Mandalorian, not like the show The Mandalorian. That story's okay. I really just like to dress my guy up like a Mandalorian and call it a day. I don't know. Oh, it's this side. No, you can't see it. My Mandalorian hat behind, or helmet behind me, but the poster's right there. Problem with a lot of these single player MMOs, they do take a while, and it's like, damn, I only got so much time in the day. Which MMOs do I focus on as far as having, that fun experience? And it's hard to say. 14's really good. Guild Wars 1 and 2, amazing. SWTOR, also amazing. A lot of these are free. Guild Wars 2, you can do the entire base story for free with their free campaign. 14, same thing. You can do the entire free base story in the first like 3 expansions that caps off at Shadowbringers. And if you're not a subscriber after Shadowbringers, I don't know what's wrong with you. Shadowbringers is really good. Amazing. We already talked about that. Let's get into... We've been doing these squats the entire time. Looking good. Looking good with our Bosch chest piece there. We're in the it's called G pose, but this is kind of the photo mode where you can do lots of crazy things. Hang on, let's see. Oh yeah, you can freeze your character so you can get like the perfect angle, and you can like move and twist your camera and do all sorts of things. You can put on depth of field. They have color filters. You can also, let's see here. You can do a lot. This is literally a an RPers, or if you like to take screenshots of your character, it's all here. Get back down. I'm trying to... You can change their facial expressions too, if I can find it. But you can also filter out people. You can change the time of day. I honestly don't mess with it too much, because like when I want to get a photo or something like that, I just quickly do it on my own, and it's usually just a one-off. But I'm not playing with this every day, but a lot of people literally will just play with G-Pose for hours and hours and hours on end. Ooh, okay. We got out of there. But this is our in-room. It's funny, when you, if you log off in the in-room, when you log back on, your character actually, like gets up out of bed. Like, there's a little cinematic of them stretching. Again, really cool. Something that is also with this, like, in-room in the bed is... Final Fantasy XIV has an in-game store. It's just the kind of the nature of the beast when it comes to MMOs, and I guess games in general having in-game stores. But 14's in-game store is really, really hard to find. Like, other than the when you're first like logging in, you're just typing in your password and you use your like two-factor authentication. They will have like you know, a sliding features, and usually that's where they advertise the in-game store with like outfits, mounts, whatever. If you're actually in the game though, you don't see any of this unless you go really out of your way, where other MMOs, other games, they put that store right in front of your face as soon as you log in, and just immediately like shatters your immersion. 14 here, you have to go to your bed in your in-room, click on it, and then dream fitting. It's like you're dreaming of whatever the store has. And this is the option you have to click to see what's in the in-game store. It is super hidden. This is another reason why I really like 14. They don't shove that down your face. I think they have to put that in there. Well, when they originally launched the in-game store, it was back in Heavensward. And they kind of justified it back then as, okay, we're going to use the sales and the revenue from the in-game store to make more European servers. So it was a success. Obviously, we have lots of European servers. Now I don't know what the in-game store is funding, except for just more money. But is what it is. If you could snap your fingers and have everything in the store be in the game, I would, but you can't. Oh, I need to check with my summoning bell. Also, you can see here, we did enter the lottery for a house. But that, and it kind of tells you where you put your lottery in. There's my number, there's the estate information. I think tomorrow it then enters the result period, which we can go there and see if we won a house or not. We could go there now to see how many lottery entries there are, to kind of like, what are our odds? Usually the odds are like under or around like 1%, so we're not too hopeful, but you know, I have entered every single lottery since the game added the lottery system, or most of them, except for the time where I took off from the game. I've never won. I hate this lottery system. But anyways, something else you do when you log in, you check your retainers, because you can send them out on like long ventures, and they bring back for you usually these silver pieces here, and you just sell these for money. They also give experience for themselves if they're not max level, but my retainers are max level. And then the venture we sat them out on, they give you some materials. I don't usually do too much with those, but that's a pass. This is like a passive way to earn gil in the game. Also, you can like glamour your retainers, dress them up however you want. I kind of like this one. She's got the armor on and that hat, and she got a very cool bow on her as well. Let's go ahead and finish your report. And they're both on the same thing. And then you just send them off. You can buy more retainers, but you have to have like a not another subscription, but like you add $1 onto your subscription if you have more retainers. I don't know. Square Enix is like weird when it comes to their pricing, essentially. Let's go ahead. We don't look really battle ready. We're kind of relaxed. Let's look through our many outfits here. Oh yeah, let's go with this one. This chest piece is from, I think it's from this expansion, and it's supposed to be kind of in line with Steiner from Final Fantasy IX. This whole expansion has had themes with Final Fantasy IX. Solution 9 is part of the Kingdom of Alexandria. Again, main place in Final Fantasy IX. My pants. Let's talk about the pants and boots. These are Agrias's pants and her boots from Tactics. I think they look very good, and they had like the inverse rod from Vagrant Story on them as well. Anyways, it's the little details. Let's get out of here. All about the little details, especially when it comes to Tactics and Vagrant Story, which all that history and lore is in the game. Now, where do we go for the Alliance raid? Ooh, also, so we did the trial, right? And Inaro. Anyways, apparently he's a boss from Final Fantasy V, like one of the end game bosses. But the Wandering Minstrel here, this is the in-game representation of Yoshi P. He is like the head developer, or not developer. He's a director of Final Fantasy XIV. But his name is the Wandering Minstrel, and he will unlock the extreme version of the trial we did. So you have to beat the trial first, and then you can unlock the extreme version, which is the harder version. So what have you brought for me today? And his in-game, I guess, reason for being here, kind of the lore behind his character is he's a minstrel, and so your character, we tell him a story. And as a bard naturally does, they kind of, I don't want to say they misrepresent everything, but they make things very dramatic. They make it more intense. Like it's kind of like, you know, meant for theater. So it's kind of like him telling you that it's a harder version, or like it's more epic version, so it's harder. So that's how extreme trials work, and why his character is here, and how you kind of unlock them, and how those make sense for the setting we're in. Canonically, we've beaten that trial, so this is more like a fun retelling, and he comes up with a song every time. Unfortunately, it's not voice acted. How freaking hilarious would it be to have the director of the game sit here and sing this song, even if he's like really bad at singing? That'd be really funny. People would love that shit. I'm gonna go pitch that to Yoshi P. I'm gonna go get him on the phone. Have you ever pondered how your life might have unfolded had you been born onto that endless dark expanse? We're like, yeah. So boom. Now we've unlocked it. We can go to the duty roulette or the duty finder and queue up for it, or find people. Usually, so it's weird. Well, that's not weird, but the different regions have different ways that they do content. For example, NA, so North America, and I think Europe as well, they mainly just use the party finder. So we have somebody doing it right now. I could join it. There's usually a strategy involved that some content creator has made that they're following. So they expect you to know that. The duty finder is the primary way that NA and I think Europe does hard content, like extremes, the savage raids, and then ultimate raids. This is where people use them. Japan, they use the duty finder as kind of like training, where you come in here, you're learning it. Once you clear it and you're comfortable with it, they then use the duty finder to just then queue into it, and then the people you get brought in with, everybody's on the same page, as they adopt like one style on how to beat the fight. But because everybody knows the fight, or it's like it's taboo to basically join the duty finder if you have not cleared the fight and you don't know the strategy. You don't join the duty finder then for the fight. It's only when you understand the fight completely that you join the duty finder. That way everybody, when they get, you know, picked together, the random people, it doesn't matter who you have, everybody's on the same page. NA though, Europe, we don't use the duty finder when it comes to hard content, ever. It's just, I guess, like a cultural thing. I think it also has to come down to NA, they don't stick to just one strategy. They're always like evolving the strategy to be more optimized and quicker. So it depends on what group you're going to join. Whereas the Japanese servers, they're just like, okay, this is the viable strategy. It's comfortable. You'll get it done in a reasonable amount of time. Boom. That's what we're doing. And they'll just stick with it. Oh, our man Brick is on. Anyways, so that's how kind of harder end content works. And I would say the different changes or the differences between, again, NA servers and the different regions as far as how they approach them. I kind of would be a fan of the Japanese version where there's one strategy, you learn that strategy. Once you've completed it, you understand it, you just queue in, boom. We need to go to where there's a girl in a bunny outfit, or a cat girl with a bunny outfit. Okay. the stuff you see. So we need to go to, I believe, is it Yaktal? Yeah, these names, by the way. That's another reason I was like, should I ever stream 14? Because there are just some names where I'm like, I have never had to read these out loud, and I'm sure I'm butchering the pronunciation. Yep, this is it. Okay. So this is one of the explorable regions. Sometimes this is where they lock behind the Alliance raids, although... It is not here. If I'm looking for the exclamation point with the plus sign. That's kind of how you determine... Maybe it's inside. So this is how you get to the new Alliance raid location. And we'll just see if it's inside. So we're on our Final Fantasy XII mount. You can hear the Final Fantasy XII music. But this is a very pretty zone. Kind of gives you a forest canopy vibe. Kind of reminds me of and a lot of like bioluminescence. It kind of reminds me of like Avatar in a way, when like you know, those forests where everything's like lit up still. It's very cool. Unfortunately, you really don't spend much time here in the story, and that's unfortunate. And then the things you do out in the open world, usually just fates. And those have a purpose, but again, they're addressing that open public zones here. Kind of need more work, more reason to engage with them. Because right now it's just kind of like, I'd say like an afterthought in a lot of ways. But Juno, that is where we've kind of found ourselves, and like this rift opened up. I'm sure it's here. Sometimes the Alliance raids have their own like little section. No, it's not here. But if anybody's played Final Fantasy XI, I think this is like one of the areas that they have. Very cool looking. Kind of reminds me of, we're going back, it's kind of like Ul'dah, one of our first city-states. Or you could say like Rabanastre has that kind of vibe. But a lot of these things here are like little hints towards Final Fantasy XI. I think this is somebody trying to market something. Again, they're all over my head because I did not play Final Fantasy XI. My brother did, actually. I think this is like an armor set from there. Where does the freaking quest start? I guess is the question. I really don't want it to go to every single freaking zone. That would be a problem. Let's go back to the capital. Maybe I missed it there. If not, we will kind of just bounce around until we can find it. In the patch notes, there it is. In the patch notes, they tell you where all the like new quests, where they start, and then like what you need, like the prerequisites. So let's head that way. Mobilja. That's like a lot of the naming conventions with these lizard people. It's like a lot of Jaws. Yes, this is it. A hallowed promise. Welcome back, Damon. Welcome back. But King. Hey, brother. How you doing, man? How's your Final Fantasy XIV adventure going? A little early for you on the east or on the west coast. Non-existent. Well, you should change that. 14's great. It's a great chill game. We like it around here. Yeah. But King is royalty around here. Mostly because he's a king of butts. Alright, so we start the quest. Now we can continue it on. Where is it taking me? You'd think that you'd grab the quest and then you just go into where you need to. Nope, there's the whole story that's unfolding with it. What is that story? I don't entirely know. Ah. So Solution 9, that place where we began yesterday, this is the outside. So they brought a little bit of that lightning calamity. Well, we're in a bubble. We're in a bubble, baby. Where it's a lot of electricity, a lot of lightning going on, but that's how they powered up their civilization to survive the lightning calamity. Like, I don't mind the aesthetic of like their normal buildings. Well, actually, they took over this place. Let's not go too deep into that. That's a rabbit hole we're not ready for. But here's some of our characters here. A cool Jaja. This guy's in the MSQ. Where is he? This guy's in the MSQ. He should be in jail. But he's not, because it was a very candy-ass story. He essentially unleashed almost like a super weapon. And literally had 0 consequences happen to him. And he did it on purpose. He was kind of like an antagonist that all of a sudden decided, I don't want to be bad anymore. It's like, dude, that's not how it works. You did something that could have killed like hundreds of people, if not thousands. Anyways, that's a small nitpick, because now he's here with us and he's like, oh, we're friends now. It's like, dude, I don't think so. Let's see what we got going on here. Thank you all for coming. So, what have you learned? They've been slowly figuring out the whole... One of the kids, it's hard to explain. There's a character who was in the MSQ who kind of had like a fake out death and basically brought forth another, like went into another dimension and it's like bringing to life an old civilization that they can then use for whatever means. And that's where some of these characters are coming from. Like, they're not really from here. See, you are indeed artificial life forms, each possessed of an electrode core. So, electrode, that is like the type of technology that Solution 9, this Alexandria nation, they utilize and they're using. So, they're not real. Or they're robotic, I would say. But the nation, like their history, is being brought basically to life by the antagonist of this story, of this side story. And so it's basically just a cheeky way for the developers to be like, oh yeah, all the things that happened in Final Fantasy XI, well, now you get to experience them in Final Fantasy XIV. Kind of like a faster version or an abridged version, kind of like the greatest hits. And they did the same thing for Final Fantasy Tactics and kind of Final Fantasy XII-ish. Although there are a bunch of loose ends and things that are kind of up in the air when it comes to Dalmasca and that storyline in 14 that I've been hoping they eventually continue. In Beastmaster, which is a limited job, which is being released later in this patch cycle, was introduced during that Dalmasca story arc. And there was a very prominent Beastmaster kind of enemy. He's kind of like our frenemy. He was like almost like a rival of sorts. I don't know. I didn't see him as an antagonist, really. He was a really cool guy. But we fought him a lot. Anyways, he was a Beastmaster. So I'm hoping that story continues. What is it? Whole thing with these dudes are they got 2 heads, and they're like the superior version of the gecko people. So really, we're just trying to, I think, stop like an incursion of this fantasy realm invading. Luckily, it tells us exactly where we need to go. Okay, see, this is where because the alliance raid where you enter it is at Yoktal here. That's why I kind of went here thinking this is where the story was going to begin. Because I can bet $5 dues that we're going to go back into that portal, and that's how we're going to enter the next alliance raid. But for the alliance raid series, there's 3 alliance raids. Every alliance raid has 4 bosses. What we got going on here? But even these side stories here, a lot of cinematics. But cool Jaja. Ah, you brought the others with you. This is like one of the main areas that these I forget their race name, but we'll just call them gecko people for now. This is where like they inhabit. This is where they live. You've all done well to hold the line. And the 2 heads is almost like a they're seen as much stronger. So when they're born with 2 heads, it's just like they're expected to do great things, and they're just naturally just elevated through society. And they went through a little bit of like eugenics to basically spawn the 2-headed gecko people, and a lot of gecko babies died through it. These have to be echoes, right? Well, I've certainly never seen or heard such creatures in Tural before. And you see they're breaking apart. They got the little cubes there. That means they're electrodes. They're not real. I remember these fiends in Vana'diel. They called them lmao. I didn't spell that. I didn't pronounce that right. But thankfully, not cunning or ferocious enough to overcome our lands guard. Oh, it's a little bit more complicated than that. This is where they give us a little flashback. It's nice to see that they do this where they like, they'll put a filter over something, kind of like they're telling a story. What's the interesting part? Oh, they saw somebody. A strange mage arrived, barely a child judging by their size. So this character here, we'll see, kind of like the Lalafell version for Final Fantasy XI. I don't think they're called Lalafells there. I think they're called something else. But I didn't know about either. I thought they'd be describing Kryl. Kryl, she's in the MSQ. She's a Lalafell. Dearest champion. Oh, you're on a 7 stream streak. All right, Kronos. Sweet. I didn't even know that was a thing. Appreciate it, brother. And we passed the 50 follower mark. It's weird. I get like followers when we're off stream. I didn't ever notice that there were like people who will just watch the VODs, which is interesting. It's like it'd be great if I could stream like, I feel like the popular hours are almost like after lunchtime into the evening, but like I don't have that time available. And then when it becomes the evening, I'm wiped out usually, and I just want to like lay down. All right, so we are going to Juno. We got to talk to Prish. She is a character that we've been working with for this alliance raid. She's also an electrode being. Oh, yeah. That's probably true. That's why I like the whole Twitch YouTube dynamic, or I like having the YouTube channel, because just content there is more evergreen. It has like a longer life cycle. Blah, if that makes any sense. Where'd my water go? And so they both kind of like feed into each other. And I'm glad to see that people like the control build we did. It was like kind of like a control build for Baldur's Gate, but also just kind of showing off how you can really just almost abuse the game with some very simple things. We go into here. That other entrance is how you start the first Alliance raid. And the first Alliance raid basically opened up this entire area for us. Oh, looks like we got another rift. In a perfect world, this would all be voice acted. Look, another one of those portals. Perhaps. Or for Surrealjaw. That's who is the antagonist. They were involved in the MSQ. Oh, there he is. Yeah, you're right. Prish is in Dissidia. I forgot about that. Is it Dissidia 1 or 2? 2, right? I played 1 on the PSP. That was a lot of fun. I eventually hit a brick wall where I was like, I don't know how to beat this like harder stuff anymore. That was a long time ago though. That game was a trip. You do like where you play as either Cloud, or you play as Cloud and you verse off against Sephiroth. Oh, that was excellent. That was a vibe. Enough prattling. You're clearly no match for Daemon. True. If this guy doesn't die at the end of the story, I'm going to go ahead and say I'm going to be very, very disappointed. So he wants to basically, he wants to rule. He was like kind of on like the curtails of one of the contenders for the throne. He was kind of like their advisor, but he kind of got killed off really unceremoniously. And it turned out, oh, he's actually not dead. Look how they animated the eyes. That's creepy. 012 was your favorite? Yeah, I don't think I ever tried that version, so I didn't get to play Yuna. I mostly played with Squall, Cloud. Oh yeah, wait, isn't in 012 wasn't Ramza was there too, right? They should have added Delita, and then maybe I would have played it. There's so many like spin-off Final Fantasy games that are like just like obscure, you know? Oh, okay. It was just an NT. I feel like that's Square Enix in a nutshell is just messy. They just do some really odd choices. That's why 14 here has been kind of keeping the company afloat, because it's very consistent and it's like it's got a high quality bar. And then they've been doing this whole like back and forth on like, because these Electrode people, they have like no memories. It's all going over my head. Like these Alliance raids, they're technically like some sort of world-ending event that need to be resolved. Just put us into the fight. That bastard didn't even acknowledge I was here. Next time I see him, I'll make sure he never forgets this face or my fist. Prish, you actually get to fight in the first version of the Alliance raid. She's got like the punching and stuff. Yes, the community in 14 is amazing, but it still has bad actors. And the biggest thing about 14 is, I'd say one of the biggest negatives is if you critique the game, people are very defensive towards 14, which is, it's like you need to, if you love something, you're able to recognize the good and the bad and then talk about it. And people don't like to talk about or talk negatively about 14 without, you know, getting kind of like downvoted, you know what I mean? But yeah, 14 community is amazing. Guild Wars 2 also an amazing community as far as an MMO. I would say for SOTOR as well. Really all the MMOs that kind of cater to more of a casual player base, you tend to be just nicer. Yeah, Turbo fans from RE. I feel like the RE fan base, pretty bad, right? Not bad, but I'm just saying like there's a lot of different opinions, and that comes down to the fact that they did the whole from Resident Evil 3 to 4, the shift to more action-based, no more tank controls. You know, it's more adrenaline than scary. Then they went back to, you know, horror vibes in 7. It's a mess. I like both, so it's like I'm eating good. I like it when it had tank controls and it was really scary, and then I like the more action side too. So boom. Now this is the dungeon, or the alliance right here. You can see that we had the other ones, but these mostly work off a weekly system where you get a token at the end once you complete it, and then use that token to eventually upgrade your gear a little bit further. Not required, but you can just do it. And then you get also a piece of gear once a week. So these are very much something you would do on a weekly basis. If you want the gear, if you want the token, and then usually they have minions and stuff too. I'm not gonna lie, when it comes to alliance raids, it's kind of a one and done situation for me because they're long. I already have the gear that I want, and then I don't have any sort of attachment to Final Fantasy XI, so all this, like the story and stuff, it's not doing it for me. But that being said, when we did Shadowbringers and we had the Tactics Alliance raid, I played the hell out of it. So you go to Rabanaster, you go to Ridorana Lighthouse, and you go to Orban Monastery. Whenever I get these in the Duty Roulette, I just smile, and it's great. Freaking love these 3 alliance raids. All the other ones, maybe not my favorite form of content. But let's go ahead. Let's get into this fight. You can kind of see the spectacle of 14. Especially in alliance raids, you really... Also, other people can enter this area, which is nice, because before there are some like raid areas and stuff where they section it off so it's like a solo instance. Never understood that. If you're gonna make a space like this, let us see other players. But with the 24-man and the larger scale content, you definitely want to cull back everybody's spell effects, because holy shit, it will just be visual clutter. You won't be able to tell what is going on. But they do build a little nice area here. You can go inside this building. What do you got to say to us, weird, creepy echo people? People do need to chill about RE games as far as like where does RE need to go. I would like them to almost return to that that PlayStation 1 era type of game. Again, the tank controls and the fixed camera. Doesn't have to be like a mainline entry, but maybe like a side game. Tells like a side story in the Resident Evil universe. Because I don't know, how difficult would it be to make PlayStation 1 type of controls, maybe the same aesthetic? How much resources would that take to make a game like that nowadays? I don't know, because I feel like I see indie companies doing it now, and it's like, hell, if you want to sell some copies and make a quick buck, I feel like that'd be pretty good, as long as it's like a good game, you know. Dan, morning. You know what? They have, okay, so when 14 originally launched, not A Realm Reborn, but the original 14, they had a lot of heavy influence as far as Final Fantasy VII story and vibes. Dalamud, which was the moon, kind of like the comet event, but they haven't gone full Final Fantasy VII like inspiration, if that makes any sense. Like Final Fantasy VIII was heavily like they had a lot of Final Fantasy VIII themes in Shadowbringers, as far as the music. Because we got the Gunbreaker then, so that's a Gunblade, that's Squall's weapon. Final Fantasy IV has had its themes explored with the Void and Zero and Golbez. Final Fantasy V has a lot of its themes explored with the this other side of the content. It's called Occult Crescent, but you will hear all the Final Fantasy V music in there and see a lot of bosses from Final Fantasy V. But again, 7 has been kind of touched in this game. They haven't gone the full way. They did give us the weapons, so we got to fight the Ruby weapon, Emerald weapon, Sapphire kind of, but then also Diamond weapon. But the way they were integrated was very much through through the Final Fantasy XIV story, and it wasn't like straight up from Final Fantasy VII. If that makes any sense. So that is still out there, and I'm wondering if they have it in mind because the Final Fantasy VII remake Part 3 is supposed to be coming out probably what, next year, this year, I don't know, soon. I'm wondering if they have it lined up so 14 and 7 will almost have like a crossover and play into one another. That'd be cool. Because yeah, we don't have Aerith. I call her Aerith because it's the original one. We don't have her theme in here or any of that music yet. And that music is too iconic to leave out of this game, because 14 is almost like a theme park to explore all these other Final Fantasies in a sense. But we just, again, Dawntrail had a lot of 9 in it. I'm trying to think the other ones. So we've had 9. We haven't had 10 yet. And if we get 10, like heavy 10 themes, we have to get Blitzball in some way or sure. Ooh, you know what? We are getting 2 new jobs for the next expansion, Evercold. One of them is going to be a tank, probably going to be wielding like 2 shields, like a shield wall. But the other one is a ranged physical. If they want to tie in Final Fantasy X, they'd probably give us some sort of class or job that throws like an object, which they would obviously have like probably some sort of blitzball type object to throw. That'd be cool. They would do that. I want a whip or like crossbows, but if they do a blitzball, that'd be cool. They need to add the game too, or some version of the game. That is like one of the biggest #1 features that people want, is some sort of gold saucer blitzball. We might go to the gold saucer because that's just like a fun area just like to chill in and kind of see like the more mini game side of 14. You can see our queue over here in the right. We got 13 out of 15 for DPS. Healers, we got 6 out of 6 healers, 3 tanks, 1 tank for each party, because you have 3 full parties. Full parties have 8 people in them. And so that's 24 altogether. And being a full party gives us access to those limit break level 3. Because with a light party, which is just 4 people, you get limit break 1 and 2. You don't get that 3rd tier until you have a full party. I'm trying to think. 12 has been in has had themes with the Bajja and that story. Same with Tactics. 13. I don't think 13 has been really influenced in this game or had anything in this game except for the characters' outfits on the store when the game like first launched. Here we go. Let's make sure our tank stance is on. It is. We're not going to try to main tank, especially if somebody's already done this. But again, kind of like dungeons, first time through is always usually really fun, really kind of cinematic. The music always good, always slaps. I like this. This looks cool. One of the things that has been annoying me about Alliance raids lately is we go to a location and it's got a certain theme aesthetic. Like right now we're in a jungle, there's a giant tree. There's some voice acting. But yeah, we're in a jungle, there's a giant tree. As soon as we beat this boss, we're going to go through a huge transition change into, and there's the entire Alliance raid. We're going to go through a huge transition change into an entirely different area. And to me, I feel like that just muddies the theme or like the overall experience with an Alliance raid. And it makes it hard to almost care, because this isn't like a real location. There's not very much like world building with this because it's not real. So it's not like we're delving deeper into, say, like a really big dungeon or anything like that that's actually in the world. Ooh.
This time, I wonder.
Actual freaking voice acting. That's interesting. They've been doing that a little bit. But anyways, that's why Alliance raids lately.
Star tree. This must be Windurst walls.
Why Alliance raids for me lately, I'm just like, I don't care as much because the story and its actual implications for the actual game world, not a big deal. Oh, we go straight into a fight. Nice. we will wait for other tank to pull, I guess, until everybody's here. I only have that. You can totally customize this to hide everybody's nameplates or have everybody's nameplates shown. I just have it so my party's nameplates are shown because I don't want a crap ton of Okay, looks like I am tanking. And then I turn off my I have it so once we enter combat, everybody's nameplates go off, and that's mostly so I can just read. That's a raid wide. And this is a tank buster. This is a big ass tank buster. All the tanks need to get involved or else I would die. I could probably survive it. It's not tuned like crazy. Alright, somebody has aggro over me, so I'm gonna... Actually, I'll keep my tank stance on. My tank stance is just giving me threat. Uh-huh. So she's gonna throw down some AoEs. Let's see what those do. What does that mean? Everybody's running over here. They know something I don't. Oh, I see. These are gonna come together. Yep. And so this is a safe area. Got it. Ooh, okay. So when she she had all those elemental gems, whenever she's doing that in front of her, that's need to get out of the way. Arcane circles. I'm just kind of reading what she's gonna do. Oh, we have to follow where she's gonna go because you can see this is a donut AoE, so we have to be in close to her, and everything outside of her is gonna get hit. Just following where she went. Okay, that's how that done. Oh, and then she does a point blank afterwards. Okay. Fuck. But you can see, even though we failed, well, not failed, but I got hit by two mechanics that are really easy to dodge, or that you should learn. We're fine. And she's dropping more AoEs. Good. And then some meteors to avoid. And again, all these indicators, all these markers, you're going to see some form or variation of them while you're leveling up, while you're playing. So that way when you see something like this, you at least have an idea of what they're going to do. And we also have her almost at 50% already. That's really good. She's summoning a giant freaking meteor there. How's this going to work? Huh. Something gonna happen over there? Oh, it's like a nuke. That's cool. And when in doubt, always just kind of like follow the party. We're gonna stay right here.
Damn it. Is everyone all right?
That's who's talking right there. He's an NPC fighting with us. Where are we gonna be safe? Right here? Yeah, I think right here we'll be safe. We're looking for two areas that are like kind of like that. What? What? You sense a gale approaching. Oh, I'm gonna get knocked away. Here we go. Woohoo! Oh. You know what I needed to do? I died, by the way. I needed to get knocked into one of the things that were up. Got it. Uh-oh. But dying, not a big deal.
Your offenses demand consequences.
We're gonna follow along again. She'll probably do a different move. So last time it was a donut AoE. Nope, she's gonna do the same thing. Got it. Just need to remember at the end of this, she'll do a point blank AoE, which means we need to get the hell away from her. She goes this way. Keep on moving. And then last one. And we get away from her. There we go. Now, I was talking with one of my buddies because Guild Wars 2 recently released almost like a raid finder, or you can queue into like raids, kind of. They have like their own versions of trials. Anyways, the readability on Guild Wars 2's mechanics and what you're supposed to do, not as good as this game. This game, the indicators and like the readability of mechanics is really sharp, really good. You just gotta get out of the middle. Like, you can definitely tell where enemy moves are gonna go off, how to avoid them, what you did wrong. That's the important thing, is realizing what you did wrong. This is every tank needs a stack. So they know it, I know it, and we did it. But anyways, I think Guild Wars 2 struggles sometimes with hard boss fights, telling you what to do. Okay, this time, this is going to be safe. Am I going to get hit by another Gale? No. This laugh thing, apparently that's like a big thing from, or what she's known for. But we beat her.
She was a doll.
Oh, interesting.
You've proven a match for my magic doll.
She's still alive.
Merit after all.
But after every boss, we get some loot. And remember, you can only take one piece of equipment per week. None of these pieces are for me. I'll pass them.
This looks like Arto gone.
But like I said earlier, one of the things that annoy me about Alliance raids is we're in this jungle. Instead of going in like bigger or further into like a jungle, we just take a magical portal. Also, everybody's rushing forward while I'm trying to enjoy this for the first time. But we do go to a completely different area.
The enemy will soon be upon us.
I don't like that. It hurts my immersion. Ooh, I should be helping out. Grab an aggro, grab an aggro. I'm just going in and popping all my AoE abilities to grab everything. Usually with little trash pulls like this, they do try to make you like each tank to take a really tough enemy. Okay, this is new. Cool. Little mechanics. And then that's a push. And you just don't want to obviously get pushed into the sides over there. As a tank, we have one job, and that is to grab everything. And between the three tanks, it shouldn't be a huge issue.
And now the fight begins in earnest.
Really? What have we been doing this entire time? I want to look at the... This is a cool looking lion here. I want to take a look at the people on the outside and what they're doing. That's a big old tank buster there. That's what they're called. It's going to do a lot of damage to the tank. If another player is in that area, they will probably die. Look at us. We're being... I'm just grabbing aggro. And I'm just popping some AoE abilities. I'm not even using any like defensive cooldowns or any mitigation. I could be. But my health isn't dipping that much because it's not hard content. Alliance raids. There's no hard version of Alliance raids. They are supposed to be just very casual. Everybody gets your gear and you move on. Medusa.
Their leader has finally shown themselves.
Oh, I'm taking aggro this time. This is like a little mini game, a little thing you do when you have multiple tanks. It's like, which tank can do the most damage, and then keep aggro. Right, Shadow Slash. So sometimes the move names will tell you what they're going to do. So even if there's no indication, it'll be like, you know, right swing, left swing. Holding that tank aggro, hell yeah. Other tanks we have right here is a Dark Knight and the other one's a Gunbreaker. That eye means to look away. If you're looking at him, you're gonna get petrified. Left Shadow Slash. So left side, gonna get hit. And everybody who was petrified, dead. This is a nice little, this is a raid-wide damage. Or no, it's not. I don't know. I don't think it did enough damage anyways. But yeah, because everybody got petrified over there, they're left there to get hit by that attack, and it killed them. So that was considered like trash pull, a trash pull. So there's no loot at the end. You only get loot at the end of each boss. But again, Alliance raids, just kind of the novelty of just running around with everybody. They have some lore stuff. This is really, I think, just for Final Fantasy XI people. But again, another rift. We're just gonna get transported to another place, and again, there's no physical meaning to any of this. Like, we're just inside a palace place that, again, to Final Fantasy XI. Oh, this is Alexander. Sweet. This is one of my favorite summons in Final Fantasy. I think they first came in Final Fantasy VII. Is everybody okay? Ooh.
Alexander, the weak shall be rewarded. The defiant shall be judged.
This is not the first Alexander in Final Fantasy XIV. They have an entire...
So we meet again.
We have an entire raid series devoted to another Alexander. So I think we just need to avoid that circle wherever it lands, and it kind of tells you where it's going to land because of the cast bar. And it's a cone AoE. Got it. Oh, and he's going around in a circle. Ring around the rosy. While other mechanics are going off, which are these AoE circles, and then a spread by everybody. Get everybody spread out.
How is it an echo can match the resilience of Alexander?
Alexander was first in FX6. Well, that explains a lot. I haven't played Final Fantasy VI in a long time. I've actually started a new playthrough of it couple weeks ago that I'm slowly getting through. I should say my first experience with Alexander is 7, and I don't. 6 is not one that I have too much history on. People talk about how it's like one of the best ones, and sure, I see it's good, but Tactics is better. I just made every 6 fan very upset. I'm pretty sure. Oh. So they were drawing like a box. Obviously, you don't want to be inside that box. I'm pretty sure this voice actor for Alexander is the same as the other dude that is talking. It's just like distorted, if you listen carefully. And it's also the voice actor for Estinian. They like to use the same voice actor multiple times for different things. It's like they have them on retainer. Alright, what do these things mean? Okay, we just gotta destroy these.
I'd expect nothing less of such a deity.
Go. That one's like super protected. Interesting. I wonder if we have to keep it alive or what happens. No? And we kind of have a ethereal conduit reserves. I'm pretty sure if that gets to 100, it will be... I don't think it'll be like game over, but it'll probably be a lot of damage. Divine Judgment, this is going to be a big damage to everybody, raid-wide. Damn! You can see the other Alliance raid members over here and kind of their health. You can heal, and you can also resurrect other Alliance raid members as well. It's not just you're restricted to just the your party. So if I needed to heal them, I technically could as a paladin. It's gonna do a cone over there. Well, that's not a cone. It was a cone, but then he also does these crosses. Oh! That's also a new thing they've been doing with their fights lately. The announcers, or the people talking, will react to what is going on in the fight. So obviously they're talking about our comrades going down because people were dying. We almost have him dead. I don't know if he's going to be doing anything completely new, but this is a cool fight. Oh, those blow up.
A comrade is in trouble. Someone heal them.
Yes, it's gonna keep yapping at us. There's a bunch of big old AoEs everybody needs to not stack for. And what is he doing with the floor here? I guess we're about to find out. Usually sometimes you can be like get the indicators from like the side of the room. Woo! Let's sprint over there. And then whichever one of these charges up first is a big AoE. We want to be not close, but we don't want to be super... Oh, it's a whole room cleave. Like, you want to move away, but you don't want to move away so far that you can't run back to the other safe zone. So you always got to stay within the bubble. I don't think I've had aggro once in this fight. The other tank is doing a really good job, the Dark Knight. Alright, those two are going to blow up first. So I should be like right here. And it's an easy walk right over there. These are going to be two room cleaves again. So he's going to cleave that side. And he's going to cleave that side. I would kill him. More loot. None of this is for me. I will pass until I find something for a tank. These, on the other hand, I think you can... Oh, I got a 98. I'm going to get that.
And that means...
And again, another big whatchamacallit, like area change. So it's like, there is no continuity with the aesthetic here. We're just kind of going from theme park spot to theme park spot with like not a lot of like lore implications. Huh. I haven't seen this enemy since there's this content called Eureka in 14. Looking at all the stuff I've got. Should I eat some food? If I want to be a good player, I will. Let's see what's going on with these. My team is talking about something. I have my chat covered. I don't know what they're talking about. Oh, Magic the Gathering. They have like their Final Fantasy sets, and I guess this is one of them. Or this is one of their cards. Just AoEing between these two. And the Paladin AoEs are pretty cool. You do like 2 sword slashes, and then the next in the chain is this like holy explosion. Boom. Very cool, very cool. And other than that, it's just our crazy spell blade combo where we just throw down a bunch of blade moves from afar. This is like the Final Fantasy tactics like Holy Knight. We're just doing all these divine blades. It makes Paladin as a tank very good because we have all these ranged spell moves that we can use that the other tanks don't have access to. So if you have a mechanic that you have to run away from, well, it's not a big deal for a Paladin because we can still hit them from far and do a lot of damage, while the other tanks, again, they don't have that kind of accessibility. Okay, we killed it.
That's the last of them.
Let me guess, we're gonna
No foe Sorelja can conjure that I have not already vanquished.
and go to another completely different scene. Great.
The Twilight God? Here? Sorelja, you bastard. You'll pay dearly for this.
Again, all of this, if you're not a Final Fantasy XI fan or you don't know like the lore behind it, I feel like a lot of this just goes over your head. The UI and group content is so much better than WoW. I guess so. I don't know. I honestly haven't done much group content, large group content in WoW. This is a very cool arena. I'll say that. You can see like the planet below us. I like that. Talking about retail? Okay.
What in the world?
Again, my retail experience is not good.
The emptiness threatens to spread.
What is gonna happen here? He's drawing those lines out. They're doing something. There we go. But I mean, we could juice up all the UI. We could have everybody's names showing. We could have everybody's spell effects going off, and it would be a shit show. This is cool. One of the big issues with 14. We've been glazing 14. Now let's bring it down a peg. Like looking at the bosses. I don't know what everybody's doing. But looking at the bosses, the camera, it's like hard to see the freaking boss and like appreciate them. Oh, let's go inside here and appreciate them. They do have a feature where you can lock on to them, but this is a Realm Reborn camera function that has not seen much love. Like you can see my character's right over there to the left, and we just stay focused on the boss. And it's great for like a cinematic experience, but for actually maneuvering around your character and avoiding things, very hard. Just like right now, I can't get to my character, so you have to turn it off. Woo! I got hit. I'm gonna get hit again. Okay, I only have one bone stack. All right, this is a tank buster. I need to pop all my tank cooldowns, or a few of them. Make the job easier on the healers. But yeah, the lock-on camera is actually pretty cool for the MSQ, which I think we'll do. Oh, he's getting grabbed. He kind of looks like Tyrael from Diablo.
It's growing.
Anyways,
This place is
let's focus on the fight here.
by the emptiness, the darkness of man's heart made manifest.
The darkness. Everybody just has, we have like our own little sections where we have to, everybody's doing like their own, like the same mechanic. It's just in like these small little arenas. Kind of like a DPS check here. But usually the DPS checks are not tough. It's just more important to stay alive. Want to get knocked back into a pillar spot. And ours is done. Oh, okay, we can teleport over there. I was like, how do we go help everybody else? Oh, they got different mechanics to do over here. Like they had this little guy shooting out beams. Very cool.
Darkness shall find no purchase in
If I jump off there, I will probably die. There we go. We're feeling a sort of way about darkness, that's for sure. See, if we lock onto him, we get a better camera angle of him. But again, it makes moving our character an absolute nightmare.
What has Serelja done?
I can also put on my character's nameplate if you feel like it would make it easier to read where I am. But that's why I kind of have my health bar is always on when we're in combat. What is going? Okay, he's gonna blast that side over there, and then he also did the those other cones. And there's still one more boss. Interesting. This guy feels like an end boss. Very cosmic and epic. Those drop, so I think we'll be safe right here. And then this should be a room wide. Let's get out of that. And you can see this mechanic here. Have like these arcane circles with these, I don't know, prisms coming out of them. Anyways, you want to go on the side that doesn't have a prism facing towards you, because that's going to shoot out that side. This looks like it's going to be another raid wide. Somebody needs to tank these towers, or else they will kill the party. Ow.
Careful, lest the darkness take you.
Lest the darkness take you. I will say, Dan, there's gonna be a big shake-up when it comes to, oh, here's another tank buster. Let's pop our big cooldowns. There's gonna be a big shake-up when it comes to 14 and the button bloat. Right, my bar actually right now, my bar looks great. It's because I cut off a lot of my AoE abilities on my bar, where I just have this button here, my number 5, and then it switches my 1, 2, 3 to my AoE abilities. But if you want to have everything on here, it would look messy, but they're fixing it, or they're making it more efficient in the next expansion. Safe spot's gonna be over here. And then he's also going to teleport somewhere. Or no, he's not. He's going to blast this side. But yeah, they're going to make the hotbar and your buttons more efficient in the next expansion. Paladin is one of the jobs that actually has a lot of, I would say, button bloat. Because they have some just abilities that they've always had. Like shield bash over here. This does a stun. But the amount of enemies you can stun in this game, not a lot of them. So it's kind of a skill. Oh, I need to get out of the middle here. Oh, I got hit. It's kind of a skill that was from the early days that they just have never gotten rid of because, I don't know, having a shield and bashing somebody with it kind of makes sense. Will I use everything on the bar? Yes. Most definitely. Like, so I'm mostly just sticking to this left side here. But situationally, arm's length. This will stop me from being pushed. This is very situational. It happens enough. Shirk. This gives my aggro to a target or an ally of my choice, usually another tank. Now hang on. Oh, cinematic. This is epic. Ooh. They've been doing this a lot lately, where we have these cinematics in the middle of fights. That's a dragon. Always love fighting a dragon. Shinryu. Alrighty then.
You can worry about how I caught up to you later. We've got a dragon to slay.
I don't know what's going on in the story, but you know what? A dragon to fight? I'm down.
Aren't we always?
Yes. Yes, I finally remember who I was, who I am.
You're a Stinian. That's his voice actor. It's obviously not that character.
Let us be done with Sarelja and his schemes. Our journey's end awaits, and with luck, a new beginning.
We're kind of just fulfilling their story. We're just here to kill the big thing, which happens to be a dragon, which I'm okay with this. Who opened the box? So while we were watching the cinematic, the party's just waiting. But they usually they'll wait for you. Ooh. So we can kind of see this gear. This looks pretty good, actually. I might farm this. Got kind of like a Templar look. But this is for a Dragoon. I can technically wear this, but I just won't get the stats. I can glam this, though. But I'm not going to do that. Gosh, these guys are in a hurry. I'm just trying to get all the loot. But anyways, as far as the rest of my bar. Shield Bash, I will never use. Low Blow, this is another stun. Probably not going to use that too much. Interject, this is an interrupt. That does happen.
That brought ruin to Vana'diel's twin.
Huh. Can I fall down here? I can. Ooh, multi-layer stage. Interesting. This is new.
So, World Destroyer
Well,
wouldn't be an exaggeration for this one.
They've done a fight like this before, but not where you can freely go up and down on your own. This is cool. We're fighting its belly. Kind of reminds me of Final Fantasy VII at the end. You fight Sephiroth and you have like two sides of them you fight with your party split. Cloak of Twilight. Your dark resistance has been reduced. Well, then I don't want to be in the dark. I want to be up here. Let's see. Do I want to match my floor? That's kind of, I guess I do. Everybody up here is also with the yellow circle, so I think we're good. Star Flare. Well, what the hell's that going to do? But this other side of my bar, I have like my 5 hot bar over here. These again are more... These are more defensive cooldowns that I just know I can just wheel over with my mouse and just click when I need them. And they're also off cooldown. Okay. Okay. That indicator there, I was trying to remember it. I'm like, do I pause or do I keep running? That was a don't move. Once the weapon or the mechanic resolves.
This form after its resurrection. Oh, I suppose.
Let's go down to the dark side. Although this is gonna hurt. Ow. So we need to time that up to avoid that. And then come down. We came down early. This is why, yeah, this is a huge spectacle. It's usually why people make the cast bar really big. So you can tell when a mechanic is going off. This is going to be another don't move.
Shiryu has already brought ruin to one world. We cannot let it come to another.
We're good. And this is a tank buster.
Let's kick this thing scaly ass.
Scaly ass. Here. I will say this alliance raise are actually pretty good. The other ones I was not a big fan of, but this one I'm digging it.
What the hell was that?
Has Serelja finally prepared the vessel for his king?
Casual MMO experience. No idea the way you're fighting the dude, but you are fighting it. That's kind of it, yeah. That guy should be in prison, by the way. Good, I hope he's dead.
Did he just...
He's not dead. I bet it sprouts another head. Wow, surprise.
This world is mine to conquer, mine to rule forevermore. Oh, sacred flame from
So you can see that we're going to be able to see what he's doing, and we're probably going to have to react.
and consign my foes to ash.
We are going, like, things are escalating quickly, and it's crazy. Alright, let's get behind him. Oh, we're supposed to step in these. Okay, so we're, like, making a shield wall. That's awesome. Oh, cool, we're doing the shield animation. Oh, God! That hurt. Yeah, a two-headed dragon with a giant fire sword. Did not have that on my bingo card. I'm gonna die if I Oh, okay. Oh, I'm getting yelled at. I can't read.
Don't you worry about me, Prish. I'll see this adventure.
They're having their own moment here. Fighting with somebody.
Face the king's judgment.
Running. I'm not gonna make it. Alright, let's focus up here. Twin Blade. What up?
That looked like it hurt.
What up, noob? We're trying to focus here. Because things have escalated pretty quickly. We need to pause. Hands off the keyboard. I got hit still. Gosh, I'm made of spare parts sometimes. This AoE is getting bigger. We need to just move. Move in at the right time. Like little cones every time. This means we need to get over here. I didn't make it. These are going to be AoEs that move inward, so we can run over here, and they're going to keep dropping, and we can just be behind them, and we are safe. Now he's going to do something else. Oh, moving AoEs. I love that. Oh, goodness. We're going to get hit by it. No, we're not. We need to stay still again. Look at us. Doing mechanics. We're gonna pop some defensive cooldowns because it looks like our healers are really kind of taking a beating. Usually with the last fight, and oh my god, Alliance Raid C is getting absolutely nuked. Somebody says in chat, C big dead. Yeah, they are dead. I'm gonna go this side and sneak around these moving AoEs. But this is generally par for the course within like a last Alliance Raid. Is left swing. I think we should be safe over here. Oh god, we made it. For the last boss fight in Alliance Raid, usually very big, very grand. Don't really know what's going on, but we're here for a good time. We're gonna cross over. Right sword, so we're gonna go to this corner. We're learning. Look, everybody's coming over. We got it. Usually the first time with these fights, kind of learn the ropes. After a few times though, it comes almost like second nature.
A truly mighty blow. The adventurers of your world are extraordinary indeed.
We got some AoEs. Get out of them. Some tank busters. Hello King. I didn't even recognize the name. Or the name change. Because it was Shinryu. Those. Oof. Okay. That was something. Reed, that is very overstimulating. Yes. It's not as overstimulating when you're playing it, but watching it, it's like, what the fuck is going on? It's like the same thing when I tune into like a world first race, either world first race in either like 14 or WoW, where it's like, there's so much going on. I don't know what the heck is happening. You get those very similar feels from Alliance raids, just because they have to do so many mechanics that are, again, that just to kind of cover everybody, to make sure everybody's doing something. Very big. Wow, there's a lot of loot. Well, let's see what we get here. We got a 2. Good. How about for the cards? Oh yeah, Triple Triad is in this game on Final Fantasy VIII. We can do a quick match of that just so you guys can see, because Final Fantasy VIII, you can say a lot about the game, but Triple Triad rocks. Ooh, there's also a ballroom etiquette. This is a that's an emote. Oh man, we're not gonna win anything. We got pants. We got the pants. Do I want these pants? No. Kind of don't. I want the chess piece. I think the chess piece we can make work. We probably should have rolled on that other one. Did we get any accommodations? We did. Nice. Again, they don't throw this overstimulating crap at you often. And by the time they do, your eyes are kind of like trained to see what's really going on. Because yeah, just watching it in general, you're like, what the hell? I love how they're voice acted in the fight. Now out here it's like, nah, we can't pay you to read these lines. Because they're gonna have their whole like story resolution. They're just talking about, good job, I'm glad you were there. You helped us fight. Like, this dude has a voice actor in the MSQ. My king, no. So this was the old king that was in Dawntrail. But it's a fake version of him. And so he brought him forth so he could, I guess, use him to rule, to build power. And we've kind of been like thwarting that the entire time. Yeah, scripting something like this, they're pretty good at making these large fights readable. But again, you kind of get like, I think it's the same thing for literally every MMO, where there's just a certain point in the game that your eyes just have to adjust to and feel like and kind of understand the mechanics and how the game works. That's why they don't throw things at you like this often. Or they save them for these, you know, the bigger fights. Because even in Guild Wars 2, the visual clutter really doesn't pick up until like later in the game when you're very familiar with stuff. And then you just kind of get into a rhythm. It's kind of how MMOs work. They now remember each other. I guess they're friends in Final Fantasy XI. We are not to be ignored. This guy's still around, huh? Cyril, Josh, quickly. I need healing before it's too late. I need more. We're just sitting there casually. This place is... it's vanishing. That's the whole thing. This is all just electro magic building blocks technology. And it's all fake. Like, this place was real. But not anymore. And it was literally all brought by Surreal Jaw. I cannot end like this. I won't let it. I don't remember what his voice actor sounds like. I need only turn to the Walk of Echoes to find another world, another champion worthy of my cause. Can we please stop him? Thank God. You're finished, Surreal Jaw. Stab him. Get him. Get him. At least we ran after him, so like we tried. And then we just stopped after. No? Not gonna go after him? And the story continues, even though we won the fight. Did we get anything from that raid? Yes, this coin here. So, at the end of the expansion, you get a single coin weekly from every Alliance raid tier. So if we went back to the other tiers, or if I kept them, we'd have like a whole stash. And then when you turn in all three, you can upgrade your tome gear by another like either 10 or like 5 item level. Anyways, makes it a little bit better. Is 10 item level a huge difference? Not for a player like me and the vast majority of people. Sure, Jaw may have gotten away. Well, you did let him get away. So the story's not done yet. And that let us know that something else unlocked here. Hang on, we can play Triple Triad real quick. For you Final Fantasy VIII fans. I have a decent deck in this game. There's a lot of cards to collect. Triple Triad. Sure. Oh, that's not my deck. Let's do my recommended. I got Clive. Oh, he has Urianger. Alright, I want him. But yeah, Triple Triad. If you guys never played this card game before, it's awesome. You have obviously these tiles, and then whichever way that number is indicating is like how powerful they are on that set tile. So we don't have anything that can take a 9. You need an A for that. We do have an A with Clive here, but it's he would have to be up here, and then the A could take something above it. And then the rules also get a little bit more complicated, or they can. We need to set up a good defense, though. Let's just put a 6 and a 9 is pretty good right here. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, damn. All right, but they're opened right here at the top for us to take it really easily with. I want to leave Clive because he's kind of our ace in the hole, so we'll flip that. And then if we use Clive here, we can take Archangel. What is it beeping at me for? Let's take him. Damn, their deck is stacked. Now, we're not going to lose anything. We're not going to lose our cards like you do in actual Final Fantasy VIII. We need to take one more, but we're not going to be able to. We can here, but there's a good chance he's going to take this. Yeah, let's just do it. Oh no, we draw. Sweet. Okay, we draw. We're gonna rematch. We're not gonna rematch, but if you win, there's a chance you can get one of their cards. If you lose, you just lose some really useless tokens. The gold saucer currency, which you get a lot of. Okay, so this is the end of the Alliance Raid quest, which you can see we can get some Orchestrion rolls, and then we get a frame as well. What's a frame? I'll show you. So whenever we join a an instance, any instance content like dungeons, trials, etc., your character, when they first pop in, has like a little portrait that pops up. This is what ours is supposed to be, but I don't think it's what's represented right now, because we have been the whole system's a little jank, I'm not gonna lie, because it doesn't update when you switch your gear. So if you change just one piece of equipment, it'll mess up the whole thing. So now it should be good. So next time we go into any instance content, our character's portrait should show up like this, but the frame is just the outside of what it looks like. And on top of the frame, you have your adventurer plate. Kind of gives a synopsis of your character. Here's what mine looks like. Pretty cool. But these get really fancy. Mine's kind of tame compared to a lot of others. But let's go ahead, head out. It's just like another collection system in this game. But we're back out. And we're just going to finish off the quest. If we really wanted to expedite this, we could just teleport all the way over there. Trying to look at, where did I get this? This is a wall mount. This is a furnishing item, which kind of should probably see what that is. So that's the other facet of this game, is housing. More collection stuff. Lots of horizontal kind of progression when it comes to just fluff. Like we have the fashion accessories, you have minions, you have mounts, you have emotes, you have hairstyles. You got a lot of things to unlock in this game. If you want to. You can completely ignore it all. You find a glamour set you like. The way your character looks as far as their hairstyle, color, all that stuff. But if you want to go in deep, you can. What do you got for us? Glad to see you return to one piece, Damon. Thank you. So Rolljaw's schemes are beyond the rift have been thwarted, then? Yeah, okay. That as well, yeah, sure. However... Oh. So they're heading back to... There's a dungeon that we went through in the MSQ. They're headed that way. Well, we can beat them there. Now, ideally... I think I'd actually be riding my chocobo through here. Kind of get the feel for the area. Or we could go on another mount. Let's see here. What else do I got? What's another good one? I like Torgal from Final Fantasy XVI, which why is he not one of my favorites? Ooh, also, we have Construct from Tactics. This is a great one. You ride on his shoulder. And of course, like every other mount, every mount flies. This is actually one of my favorite ones because I just, tactics. But where did my Torgal go? These dogs here, we were talking about trial raid dogs. So one time in Shadowbringer, no, Stormblood, these dogs were the theme to go for, and then like the penultimate one or the ultimate one was is the Nine Tails right here. So I do have that one. There's Torgal. Why are you not on my... You are. He's right there. Okay. I like Torgal a lot. Let's ride Torgal. I kind of feel bad. We look pretty big on him, but it plays the like the battle theme for Final Fantasy XVI. And Torgal can fly, by the way. Every mount can fly. We're going all the way down here. Okay. He took us unawares. So there should be like a cutscene to freaking wrap up this story. Torgal's the best dog. So This is like one of those, this is an electrode room. You can see all the blocks. But this is actually where his character was like killed off in the MSQ. And this is like a gateway to Alexandria and Solution 9. And it's supposed to have like kind of like that that fabled theme of like a golden city, like traditional like Aztec story, or you know, story that they tell about pirates looking for a golden city within South America or something like that. Anyways, that's kind of the theme they're playing with here, that these electrodes were like the golden city. City of gold. So, again, this guy should be in jail. Already there upon me, I must set aside my pride, if only for a moment. What are you gonna do? Cower? What a freaking little rat. Snake. I beg, you wait, my king. So he's basically, he will just, he literally is just trying to work with anybody as like their servant, so he can ride their coattails up the power ring. He's a little snake. What are you buying time for? He wants him to stay his blade. Really, we shouldn't do that. We do a lot of talking to the bad guys in this game. It's like we should just deal with them now instead of letting them kind of basically waste time to get off what other scheme or ambush that they're going to spring upon us. I wish to make amends. Yes, amends for my transgressions. I wouldn't believe this guy. You were cursed as a child, should never age. Is that so? Is that not so? I'm fine with the way I am, thank you very much. Yeah. He's gonna, I can return you to home to Vana'diel. So he's begging for his life. I'm just wondering how he's gonna go. Yeah, without him, these two don't exist. So it's gonna be probably like, they're probably gonna bring out one of those like bittersweet moments where it's like, yeah, we'll defeat the bad guy here, but our friends we made along the way, well, they gotta go back to where they came from. Fools, all of you. Such childish naivety is why you could never be king. That's more MSQ stuff, and why you will inevitably play into the hands of Alexandria's queen. This guy has a little bit of a complex going on. So the person he was basically trying to glaze during the MSQ, but cast him aside, basically. He's probably a little still bitter about it. Drop kick. That was a little fight. You'll also notice that our character, because the Warrior of Light can be all these different jobs and they have all their own animations, very, very rarely will the Warrior of Light actually do anything like fighting in a cinematic. As far as like swing a sword, use your bow, etc. They usually just default to some sort of just general light magic, like putting up a shield or something like that. And that's because, again, accounting for every single person's character, what they would do in the animations, I think it's just something that they haven't figured out yet to make us feel unique. They've done it once back in 7.3, which was cool. Everybody loved that. But yeah, since then, or you just don't see it very often. So most of the time, yes, our Warrior of Light is just sitting kind of on the sideline. What will you say? It's more fun this way. Sometimes strength alone isn't enough. We'll just say that. Very wise. When faced with a terrible foe or a crushing weight of a seemingly impossible mission, a friend can make all the difference in overcoming hardship. Okay, yeah, we're going with the friendship story. That's good. I will never understand such folly. I'm not gonna lie. First off, we should be arresting him from the MSQ. What will you do now? Let's see what happens to him. What you mean about us getting home? It's fine, really. This place has grown on me. Are we gonna keep them around? Oh, my dear Prish. Oh yeah, there's this one. Shantoto? Might we have the pleasantries for a more tranquil space? I've grown tired of this unsightly decor of this place. Yeah, this place is a freaking eyesore. I take it you're an ally then. All right, let's go back to town. So we're gonna arrest him. I gotta tell you guys, back in the day, A Realm Reborn, Heavensward, Shadowbringers, we would have axed them right there and then. What do you got for us? Oh yeah, that's also another thing they kind of shy away from. The more animalistic living sentient beings that are like tribes, call them like beast tribes. Well, that term is kind of frowned upon now. Now we just call them like allied tribes. I like how we get introduced to a character here now, but it's kind of like this is the end of the quest line. I'm guessing she's going to be the resolution to how these two either survive or go away. Echo, an interesting name for creatures we felled, much like you, born from memories of our home as well. We already knew this. A truth anyone with eyes could plainly see, well, made like my dolls, but no true article like me. So it really is you, Docs? Okay. Or rather, a doll created by the real you, who now speaks through you? This is a little confusing. Docs? Even here, I'm glad to see you're the same as ever, my dear. My cross-riff research. Okay. So is this really supposed to be her from Final Fantasy XI? Interesting. So, I'm guessing again. I didn't play Final Fantasy XI, but Bloth, my man, with the Prime sub, we like that. That's 10. We hit our goal. That's really good. Sloth, you already did the Alliance raid. How did you like it? Yeah, it's actually her. Okay. Did you like the Alliance raid? I will say I actually enjoyed it a lot. I'll probably farm out at least to get that chess piece because it looks pretty cool. We did it. Oh yeah, hey, my little gold thing went through. Cool. Yeah, I wouldn't mind running them in roulettes either. The only thing that I got killed by was getting pushed during the second boss. So they're gonna preserve these two, right? In some way, shape, or form. 'Twould seem our battle with Shinryu took a heavy toll. So she's like a dimensional rift character, kind of like what's his name? Oh, the swordsman guy who goes and fights around in every dimension. Why is he his name eluding me? I want to say Gosetsu, but that's not his name. That's from Stormblood. Gilgamesh. There we go. No, Sloth, you're right on time. Gilgamesh, yeah. So she's kind of like Gilgamesh, a a rift traveling character. There's a lot of traveling or adventuring that we have left to do with Damon. I would like to stay as well. So we're going to keep them around. Let's just keep that. Let's keep the Final Fantasy XI door open for later. Just how they did with Dalmasca. I'd rather you show me around Vana'diel. Yeah, I'd rather go to Vana'diel too. An adventurer in Vana'diel? Are you serious? Well, once upon a time, we were just an adventurer. That's a wonderful thought. How in the world do you plan to make it over there? I've got it figured out. I'm the Warrior of Light. I suppose I shouldn't put it past you to find a way. Then it's settled. We'll save our adventuring for Vana'diel. Okay. With any luck, we'll find a solution to our electro predicament by the time you arrive. So they really are just leaving it like the Final Fantasy XI door open to call upon later. Interesting. Did I hear that right? Yeah, but cool, Jaja, you should be freaking in jail and or dead. So everybody's kind of staying around. I guess technically they kind of did this with tactics as well, as far as like Ramza and Alma and all them are still, they're still around. Getting the Final Fantasy theme from 11. Okay, where do we go? This is back in the main city. Luckily, our return there, we can save a little gold. Gil. Yeah, I need to run that alliance raid again. I didn't get any armor. I should have rolled on the Dragoon set. Let us just teleport closer to them, which is this one here. Here we are. Well, I would have liked that. I wish you could... Trading gear in this game should be more of a thing. That's what's nice about the alliance raid being a tank. You know that when it drops, you get it because you're the only tank in your party. Okay, we're still going. This is another thing they added in an ENDWALKER where you will have quests where you can walk around with the NPCs and they'll just follow you around. I feel like this eventually will be, this is like a stepping stone for some sort of open world trust system where you'll have actual NPC allies that will follow you around forevermore, in a sense. One day when this game goes offline and they have like a single player mode, I feel like they'll really be utilizing this technology. But with them following you, you can go to like these little talking points, and really it's just to spend more time with the characters that are following you. But you can obviously just beeline it to where you need to go. You can also just teleport. We don't have to run there. We could take the Aether shards and just boom, right over there. But yeah, they'll sprint with you and everything. We got our merry little band here. We got our dog. And when Beastmaster comes out, I think they'll have their animal follow you as well. I didn't see the tank set from the dungeon. Because the tank in the Alliance raid, it's I mean it's like see if he kind of has it on. No, he doesn't. But it's like you know, it's got the two pauldrons, it's got the tabard in the front, white. It looks good. It looks good. I can match it pretty well with just the usual shit I usually rock in this game. I'm coming to get you, bunny girl. Yeah, link it. Because I don't know if I don't know if I'm gonna farm that dungeon yet. I didn't see anything crazy that I wanted. The dungeon's fun though. Going to Garlemald is always a good time. Are you even online right now, Sloth? Yeah, you are. Look at you, bud. About time now, Sloth. We can do the variant dungeon, the duo mode. That'd be great, considering it scales with 2 people. That's something that they haven't done much of in 14, is making content that is like 2 to like 4 people. Meaning you don't need 4 people, but it scales if you have 2, 3, and of course 4. Scaling content, I guess, is what we should do. No, I'm not going to do it right now. I was going to do some, little bit of gold saucer. Some gold saucer. The stream is supposed to be dedicated to the Alliance raid, but we kind of went through it. I guess I never appreciated how long. Ooh, okay, you linked it. Hang on. Never appreciated how much time it takes to like do the full Alliance raid story, and then the actual instance. Let's look at that armor. Was this from the dungeon? Oh no, this is the Viper one. No, this is the tank one. Okay. I'm not gonna lie. Not for me, but I think on a female character, this would look actually like really, really good. But me, these like my bare arms there, not the biggest fan, but everything else looks, I mean, this looks good. I got no pants on. Yeah, you can see the arm pieces that I have on right now. They don't exactly cover everything. Yeah, I'm starting to, I mean, I've always known it. We've all always known it, that female characters kind of get the best glam. So we just ran with these 2 all the way across the map, but you can just teleport as well. And you won't lose them or anything like that. I think at a time there you would lose them, and they changed that really quick. And they'll just teleport down here with me. They don't actually do the jumping. So I guess this is how it's going to end. We're just going to be drinking. Yeah, I'm interested. So in 8.0, next expansion, you'll be able to toggle certain parts of your armor on and off. We're expecting 2 more, actually. So we're all just here to get drunk. Great. How far does the toggling of armor, how far is that going to go back? If that makes any sense. And then how much are you going to be able to toggle on and off? Because that seems pretty crazy as far as the legwork for it. Okay, before you all leave, I wanted to treat you to one last round of tacos. You know what, Baluk? Cool Jaja. You're not so bad after all. Maybe we don't need to put you in prison if you're gonna get us tacos. Tacos sound good. They really started emphasizing the whole food aspect and that social interaction between characters and putting a lot of effort into it. We'll know when it comes out. Depends on the gear. Because I think it'd be cool for, if we're talking about tanks specifically, to be able to like toggle on and off some pauldrons, like the shoulder pieces. That'd be sick. These tacos look good. Tacos look real good. Wow, these tacos are amazing, aren't they? Or as amazing as Aunt T's. Treat your ears. Okay, are they gonna play something for us? What is going on here? Ugh. Special performance. She's dressed like freaking cyberpunk. Or like streetwear. Modern streetwear of some sort. This, I'm guessing this is just a very emotional song from 11, but without some actual vocals. I don't think it's hitting as it should be. My. What other chance we would meet again and meet again here, of all places? She's been practicing every day since you left. Oh, did we? I'm guessing these are characters that we interacted with earlier in the Alliance raid. Did we save them? I feel like really this has been like Prish's story. I guess so. Yay. How did I do? What did you think? I'm finally bridging the gap between Tulihola and Alexandria through music. That's wonderful. We're not coming back here though. Absolutely incredible. I'm glad to hear you sing. Wow. Well, I guess we just kind of missed out on the vocals. Does that mean you're finally going back home? In that case, I'll just have to go and sing there someday. Okay. No doubt about that. Looking forward to it. That's great. Mouth-watering tacos? Now I want some tacos. Alright, we're ready to go. Let's make our way to Juneau without delay. I wonder what's going to change there. Oh yeah, take us. I wonder what's going to change there once you kind of finish the quest. We're back. I like that they teleported us straight there. Wow, this is quite the... Usually it's just the fight and it's over. If we have no further cause of delay, I shall plot a course for us home and show you the way. Are we going to go? Or are they just taking those two? Concentrate on home. Hold its picture in your mind. Reach out with all your heart. And past twists through worlds will answer in kind. I wish I'd go home. I wish I'd go home. I'm wondering, oh, I guess that was a fun fight where we went on the different airships. I'm wondering how this Alliance raid has like landed with people who are unfamiliar with Final Fantasy XI. Like I could take or leave this. As far as like a tier list of Alliance raids, probably sits somewhere in the middle for me. Like A Realm Reborn, we had the Crystal Tower series. Heavensward, we had the Void Arc series, which had to do a lot with Diablos. Stormblood, obviously, Ivalice, Final Fantasy Tactics, and 12. Shadowbringers, we had the Near raids, which absolutely hated. I didn't hate them, but they are just long, and they're not even considered canon in 14. And then ENDWALKER, we had the 12. Oh, are they gonna blow up into electrodes now? Or no? Huh? I guess we may have overdone it a little. We had a lot of fun times, didn't we? Kind of. I like how they say they will treasure these memories. It's like you're about to get evaporated. And I expect to see you in Vana'diel someday, you hear? That'd be cool if our characters in 14 actually went to Vana'diel. In the game. It's strange to think I will soon live alongside those self-same adventurers whose memories created me. Interesting. Yeah. Stranger still that you too may someday cross paths with them. Getting very, very, emotional here. Yeah, we've kind of already talked about this. I hate to interrupt, but I don't think it's wise to waste our time Or I don't think it's wise to waste any more of what little time we have left. Are you gonna cry? He is gonna cry. But you could, but you should come back for some tacos sometimes. Fish tacos. I make great fish tacos. You can have as many as you like. Friends. What have we taken away from this Alliance Raid story? Well, tacos are delicious. That's about it. It's kind of what I've taken away from the expansion. Yeah. He put himself... Take care, you two. Safe travels. Great. Into another rift bubble. Until next time, Bakul Jaja, Damon, why are we second? Oh, Rain, yeah, just say, don't worry about it. We've been just going through the Alliance Raid, the end of the Alliance Raid, without doing the rest of it. So, you know, that's all messed up and out of order. Kind of just showing what to expect from Alliance Raids. Because, again, Tuesday, we went through the MSQ, which is very cozy, very relaxed. You just kind of go through a story. You do the dungeon, you do the trial, that's great. But also with patches, on the even ones, you get an Alliance Raid, which is still, it's another story. Nah, basically no voice acting, except for in the actual fights now. But they have the novelty of the fight just being, there's a lot of people, and they kind of escalate in scale, and the visual clutter kind of becomes a lot. It's hard to read. Let's see what we can exchange over here real quick, or if there's anything new. Yes, the third movement. That's where we just were. So if we would have collected these tattered third movement score, we could get the orchestrion, the music. So you can collect music in this game, and you'll actually have a orchestrion to play the music on and save it. You can do it in an FC house, you can do it in your apartment, your actual house. So collecting music, that's another thing. It's another collection. We'll go back to the city. Taral. Butt King. My man. Butt King, did you have a sub for the game? Do you remember your account information? Because I highly recommend the free... Oh, we went the wrong way. The free trial, because they have now added on Shadowbringers. Yeah, I wouldn't pay until... If you're new, I would not pay for the game until you go through the free trial and you get through Shadowbringers, and then decide if you're hooked by the balls or not. But I will say, if you're if you want to be kind of like a penny pincher with 14, you can just buy the expansion. You then, or the latest expansion, and then play through the expansion in your 1 month sub, and then throughout the patch cycles for each expansion, they do have a free login campaign. Usually that lasts once you log in, you have 4 days of game time to kind of catch up on things, and you could literally just make sure you set aside the time and kind of keep your ear to the ground of when those events are going to happen, and you can keep up with the entire story and doing all the content initially throughout the entire expansion without spending a dime on the sub. So you really just would have to buy the base expansion, whatever the new one is, and then just whenever there's a free login campaign, log on, do the story, good to go. You keep up with everything. Really, you're only logged in, or you only really sub for if you have a house or something like that. Yeah, Butt King, I'd go with a free trial account. It's very generous. And again, you get Shadowbringers now, which is... It's so good. It's so good. A bittersweet parting for sure, I'm sure. Those you considered friends are few and far between. Oh, he's talking to him. I'm I'm pretty sure we, as the Warrior of Fright, we have a lot of friends. I didn't say we were friends. But cool, Jaja, you're kind of a little bit of a softie. They're our comrades, Prish, Axel, and Damon. Nothing anyone says will change that. Comrades more like best friends. This is bullshit, by the way. He should still be in jail. There's a real jaw. Okay, this is not the same. Threatened by our own ritual magic, no less. Never could we have imagined them being combined with Electro to serve such a nefarious ends. Okay. I'm not saying all the lizard people look the same, but it kind of looks like the one we were dealing with. We might have walked similar path, if not for you and Wilklamat. We made many mistakes during the Rite of Succession, hurt many people. Yeah, he released a primal. Those of you that are 14 that don't know what a primal is, they're very dangerous summons. And he didn't get any repercussions for that. He's just reflecting, he wants to be a better guy, we get it. If you need any help again, don't hesitate to call me. I don't think we will. Your enemies will rue the day they met Bakul Jaja. He just had a weird story arc, that's all. It's like I'm not forgetting the past. Perhaps violence shouldn't be our only solution. You could learn a thing or two from the vow of reason, brother. I think that's like the two leaders, right, of Tyrol. It's like the vow of reason and the vow of something else. They will. I'm sure of it. They've done a pretty good job in this expansion as far as making the beast tribes, those different races, actually have like some sort of facial reaction. Ooh, there we go. Let's see what the Vana'diel framer kit looks like. I'm usually pretty picky with my framers. Perhaps some adventures and knowledge to share with you. I don't know. That's just if when you rerun it, you'll get a little bit more information. Oh, are we having like a full on credit scene here? Is his name Axel? Axel? They're going through the dimensional rift. Thank you, Lana. I appreciate it. As always, I think streaming is very much just second monitor content, and you just kind of keep it on for a vibe. 14's pretty good at that, because at least the music's always, like, pleasant. Something wrong? It's just nothing. Just thinking on all that we've been through. It was some adventure. Do 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 do. Yeah, we kind of just found him at the beginning of the Alliance raid, just chilling in the dirt there. Look, we're getting the abridged version of the entire Alliance raid. No name, no memory of who I was, only a vague sense of duty to guide me. Yeah, Prish was kind of taken over when we first found her. We had to kind of beat her up. Naturally. With each battle, we found our way forward, and eventually I would remember. Remember who I was. A knight. A Vana'diel. Tacos. I might make some freaking tacos. Okay, we did meet them earlier. Something more valuable than any treasure. Let me guess, is it friendship? The people we met along the way? You fight to protect it as well, which is why I know we will meet again. Please tell me it's friendship. Until that day. Let's be off. Adventure calls. This game's all about just like the unending venture, the unending journey. See you, Space Cowboy. Or I guess Dimensional Rift Cowboy. Oh, this is nice. We'll leave the light on. This is cool. It's get very Final Fantasy XI looking. Or at least the aesthetic they go for in Final Fantasy XI. If only it controlled better. I don't think there's going to be like a... Yeah. So I don't think there's going to be a... Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom... So we got all this music. Which now is in our orchestrion. Love it. And we got a framer kit. Let's go see what it looks like. Adventure portraits. Edit. Frame. Let's see here. Should be... This is becoming a problem. There's way... I don't collect framer kits. But even I have like a crap ton. Oh, it's this one. Oh. That looks okay. What do the other ones look like? Can't say I'm the biggest fan. Usually they actually come with some other ones too. No, they did not. Or if they did, it's really hard to tell. That was nice. This framer kit's okay. I'll keep it on for now. Here we go. Here's another one. There we go. We get the tree background. I kind of like that one. And Juno looks good too. You know, I think we will keep, yeah, let's keep that one. Look at us evolving. Alright, let's head to the gold saucer. Although we need to look the part. Go to the gold saucer. You gotta be ready to party. With your short shorts. So how the gold saucer works. So we got the alliance raid done, MSQ's done, dungeon trial. Now you just go back and either do the weekly for the alliance raid. You go maybe take that next step, difficulty step with the trial, which could do those things. But now you just kind of return to the day-to-day things of 14 until those other pieces of content come out for the 7.5 series, which a big one is going to be Beastmaster. It's a whole new job, and it's got its own like gameplay loop and progression, which is going to be a lot of fun. And then there is the more grindy content, something like they have these field operations, which is almost just like public areas, but in a different spin where it has its own rule sets. I actually like the content a lot, but I don't feel like we should be covering it today. And then you also have Deep Dungeons, which is kind of like a roguelike thing that has its own progression system. So I have these little communities, little gameplay sections that all stem off of the base combat system. It's very fun. Very, very good. Yeah, we're looking good. Look at those short shorts. Let's head to the Gold Saucer. It's the Manderville Gold Saucer. And Gold Saucer, that is from Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, buddy. That's what I'm talking about. So the Gold Saucer, full of a bunch of mini games. And they have these events that kind of bring everybody together to do like a certain mini game. And you can check the time on the mini game with the gate person. If I could find one. So you can tell what event is going on now or when the next one is going to be up. They'll also have a big announcement for it as well. And there's all sorts of things we'll do. So Gatekeeper, let's go see what they have to say. Cliffhanger. So that's at 12, which is literally in 1 minute. So we can just teleport to it and we can just wait there. So as soon as the event procs, we're the only one here right now. But they also have like little tiny mini games you can do here, where you just got to do things like press the button at the right time. We'll see how good we are. All right, there. Okay, nope. Boo. And this all has to do with the gold saucer currency. Fudge. One more time. No. I'm not good at basketball anyways. This is a dumb sport. Nope, not done yet. No. Anyways, yeah, I get it. Anyways, this event is live, so this is the indication that the event is up. Now, if anybody else would be joining this, we all just kind of do this little jumping puzzle. That's right. 14 has jumping puzzles. Are they as good as something like Guild Wars 2? No. But they're pretty decent. We just need to avoid the bombs. And if we get hit by them, we're just going to get knocked off. And obviously we'd have to start again. Ooh, ooh. The jumping is just not as refined as, again, something like Guild Wars 2. But it does have its like own finesse. Finesse. There we go. And that's it. That's just a little event, but this is just one of many. There are other jumping puzzles. There's like a little arcade shooter that you could do as well. And they're on like a 15-minute timer. But in between those, you can, again, do these, the little games, and then every day you can come over here and do a scratch off. And this is all just giving me MGP, which is just the currency here. So if we can do the cack pot. And the idea is, you can see that if the sum of our row hits these numbers, you can tell how much money we're going to get. So if we get a 1, the number 1, 2, 3 in a line, that's 6. That's the lowest you can get. That'll give you 10,000. So it's generally what you want to aim for. Or if you get the most, say 9, 8, and 7, you'll get 3,000 here. So those are kind of just the two that I aim for. And then we get the reveal, I think 3. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. So obviously, we're going to go here. Because if this is a 1, that's 10,000 JP or MGP. And that's really good. There we go, baby. And really, we don't spend like any MGP to play these games. Or the amount that you pay is so minuscule to the amount that you can earn that it's not like really gambling. You're like playing gambling games without the gambling. Like this costs 10 MGP to play. But if you look at the card here, and we can do 3 scratch offs, by the way. But if you look at the card here, any result we get is more than 10 MGP. That's kind of how this all works. Same thing as before. We can see that the 2, the 3, this could be a 1 in the middle. This is the first time I've ever gotten 10,000 MGP twice. Can we do it a third time? And what is all this currency for? Well, we can go over that as well. Just more things. Okay, this time around, not as lucky, but we see that we have a 7 here, so this could be 8 and 9. We'll do that. Okay, and we got 119, not bad, but the other two we absolutely balled out on. So this one, there's a bunch of vendors that will take your MGP. So you can see some of the prices, they're pretty high. I have 1 million, that's pretty good. But this is all cosmetic stuff. And not this vendor, but this one over here, they're all kind of spread out a little bit. Be great if they were consolidated a little bit. But more accessories. I'm looking for the really expensive shit. Because they have mounts. Maybe it is the this first one here. I guess this one. So framer kits, yeah, here we go. We have some mounts here that cost 1 million, 2 million, 4 million. So there's some things to grind out. And the best way to farm out MGP is to do the events, like one after the other, because you also get a weekly challenge log that lets you know, hey, if you do four gate events, you'll get a big chunk of MGP just for participating. That's kind of what people do. And you can just kind of chill between gates here. And there's also chocobo racing, which honestly I haven't done myself too much. And it's an okay minigame. They haven't really updated it in a long time. Can I go up here? Yeah. Nice gold statue of the owner, the Vana'diel family. It's kind of a, again, minigame haven that they usually update at least once per expansion. My dog was messing around. But yeah, let's see if I can win one of these. This one's a little bit easier because you have the entire gauge, or the these different tiles here that you can get it in the green. The other one, if I get in any one of those, I win. Bonk. So we got 15 from that. Again, if you win a couple times, there's also a weekly challenge for that as well. Give you a bigger chunk. So this is Gold Saucer. It's just like a more casual side, something to do, or if you don't want to do like any combat. Kind of take a break from the combat side, a little more on the goofy side. Plus, it is like the same music from Final Fantasy VII. But there's also things. Let's go to the Chocobo Square because there is Vana'diel. I think that's what it's called. But it's almost like a little RTS game. And unfortunately, Verminion, that's what it is, Verminion. Unfortunately, this does not get updated enough, but it is like this you get like all your minions, you get to put them into this almost battle arena, and then you just gotta kind of win, and there's different rules and stuff. That's really fun. So your minions actually have a purpose outside of just, following you around and being cute, and they all have like special abilities. Like they all fit into like a classification. I'm thinking like I don't know what the German Shepherd is. Have I showed them housing? Yeah. I've shown them our freaking horribly decorated free company house, but not my house that I'm sharing, that I'm bumming. So let's go do that. Because the house that I'm sharing is a lot, it's way better decorated than our FC house. But you can decorate the outside. So this is the other housing district, or another one. This is Limsa. More of a coastal kind of residence. Very cool. I like it. Got the white stone, cliffs. Very pretty. But anyways, you buy a house and you can pick the outside of what the house looks like as far as the aesthetic. This is like more Ishgard. So that gothic theme. But you can also pick what the gate is and stuff. So we went with the stone. And then we decorated with these this stone path here. Everything you see here we put down. Got a striking dummy. We made like a little arena with some stone gravel. And then we got a fire pit over here. This is nice. Very cozy. Little spot to have tea. We have a perfect view of the water. This is actually one of my favorite housing plot locations because we're not right on the water, but we're kind of on the cliffside overlooking it, which gives you a great view because you can go down to the beach over there and swim. Is there anything to do? No. But it's nice to look at. Let's go inside because I actually decorated this place. I think it's pretty damn good. So in the house you can also set up any music. I think this is the ENDWALKER trailer song. Really good. But yeah. Walk in the front door here. We got, of course you have the cat girl maid who bows to you. And this is fish person. Namazus, I think that's what they're called. I'm not sure. But there's our orchestrion. So all our music that we get, you can set a playlist, but all the music you get goes into here. And we can select it, play it, put it on a playlist, you can repeat it, etc. Very, very cool. But anyways, our house here had kind of the entryway with this fountain, and then the stained glass in the back that looks nice, and then we have the little bar over here with our kegs. You can get behind here. You can sit on all these chairs. You can serve your dog. But everything here was put down. Some things you can interact with, like pull the tap here for some beer. And then we have like this little like library nook with a fireplace. This is neat. And then it has a basement. This is a medium house, so it has 3 floors. But this is like a little winery back here, where we store all the good stuff. And you're thinking, okay, that's cool. What's this bookcase doing here? And so we have a secret room. And so who I'm sharing this house with, the actual owner, Brick, he does like high-end content, and so he has basically all the trophies of bosses that he's killed. And so this is his trophy room. It's his house, but I let him decorate this room. And then there's cheese. I don't know why cheese, but we have some Lofferts in here. This is just like a fun little cubby he has that I give him. But then we have an upstairs. And this is just kind of like, I don't know, a study, a meeting room, a battle planning room here. Got the giant ass table. How many times do we use this? Not often enough. But you sit in these chairs. Hang on, let me put my UI back on so I can see what I'm typing. Yeah. But yep, housing is pretty extensive in this game as far as what you can do and what you can make. And it's kind of like one of the end game and guild sinks in the game. But yeah. This is my house. My house that I share. Oh! Sloth, hi. Hello, handsome. I'm looking at your glam. That's pretty cool. Hello there. Yeah, chat bubbles. They didn't used to be here either. Alright, we're getting out of here. Okay, so that Viper top. The top you had is from the Alliance raid. Yeah, I think I'll run that Alliance raid later today, maybe. Try to get a tank chest piece because I did not roll on any piece of armor, and that Alliance raid actually went by pretty quick. And the mechanics felt good. It felt like it had good pacing. Where did I want to go? I want to go to Shadowbringers, and I want to go to Ilmeg. Because another piece of content that I really like in this game are those deep dungeons. And so this is the icon for the deep dungeon. There's a few of these in the game. This is the latest one. And these is basically another like little mini game where, do I have any open slots? Here we go. Where you basically go from floor 1 to 100. And every 10 floors, there's a boss. And you get your own like armor pool where the higher up you have, like 99 is the max, but you level this up, this will make you do more damage. And just this content, armor, obviously you'll take less damage, but I have a save file here with me on Gunbreaker, so you get the sprite representation of all the jobs as well. Again, it's like a little mini game. And so you can go in with a fixed party, or you can just use the general matchmaking. And then you can also, this is like a really good new addition, is you can start on floor 1, 20, 21, 31, 51, 71. Prior to this, most floors they had level 1, and then I think 31. So if you want to go to floor 100, the highest you could start was 31. So that's like 70 floors. And for farming, if you want to farm this content and like see those later game bosses, starting on 31, huge pain in the ass, huge time sink just to see some things that you barely get to experience. So with this new system here, much better. The only thing this does do is spread out the pool of players as far as who's queuing and which one they're queuing into. I wish you could queue into multiple at a time, but This is a great system here. We'll maybe spend an episode going through all of the deep dungeons to kind of see what they're like and how they're different, because each one has its like own little flavor, own little twist. It's pretty good. Oh yeah, YouTube, I need to show you guys the Island Sanctuary. So you have housing. You have your general house, you have the FC house, and then you also have apartments. Another form of housing customization, if you want to call it that, is your Island Sanctuary. I think it's Aleport. So you get an island, and you can like collect things at it, animals at it, and it's kind of like a little bit of a farming sim, sort of. Oh no, it's not Aleport, is it? No, I went to the wrong map. That's the other thing about this game. Finding content. No, this isn't it. It's in... I think it's in lower Limsa. There we go. So yeah, just out here, kind of randomly. I don't know how you would find this on your own. But take me to my island. Oh yeah, we can PvP. We can duo PvP. That'd be another good thing to do. But this is my island. And a lot of this I decorated, and you get to level up these buildings. I put down this rock wall here. You get to have all or a select amount of, a lot of your minions get to just wander about. So I have Fran, Ramza. I told them to stay down here. Have any other ones? Here we go. Construct 8. He's also hanging out down here, but I decorated, put these boxes here, that gazebo. I chose the stones here. These buildings you can change aesthetically how they look, but these are set plots that you can put down spots at. And then this is kind of like the main building where you collect things. You kind of play like a market board game a little bit here. But the island is pretty big. So you have like this section here. You have this section over here. You can put down like a special bathhouse. It's like one of the things you can do. And yeah, the island is big. And really, what is the purpose of this place? I don't know. RP. RP, a place to have. There are things you can do with the like the market board game where this whole island system is all self-contained in here, and there are pieces of equipment, stuff that you can only earn with the currency that you earn on your island, and then you could take those items and then go sell them on the market board for people who don't have their island unlocked, or they don't want to bother with it anymore as far as keeping up with it. But this is my like little menagerie, all these animals I've caught and then put over here, and then you can like, you don't skin them, but you take their fur or their scales, and those become currencies as well. You get to name them. If you haven't noticed, all my names are from either Tactics, Vagrant Story, or for 12. So we got Fran, Balthier, Bosch, Ashley Riot, Delita. So yeah, little bits of customization here. Honestly, I think a lot of people didn't vibe with the Island Sanctuary because they didn't go hard enough with it. It's very, very casual. And it's not very difficult. But you have your whole gardening and farming plot you can keep up with. But you have to go out into the actual like island. And this is where you do like a lot of collecting. So you got to go into collecting mode, which is this. Which one? This is all my logs. This kind of tells you how your section, your island is set up. Those are all the different building plots and kind of what I've chosen to put down. This is where you say, okay, you can put all your minions, and you tell them which area to put them down in. And then furnishings, kind of same thing. You can bring some items in here. Here we go. This is what I wanted. But this lets you know how you can kind of interact with your island. You can gather. And so this activates all, or it populates all of the gathering nodes, where you gather certain materials, etc. It's kind of like I guess Animal Crossing. And you can also see in my map up there all the available nodes to gather from. So this is for gardening, watering, also gardening, coal. I don't think this is from... I think this has to do with your animals. That's feeding them, you can pet them, beckon them, and then capture. This lets you interact with all the animals on the island, and there's like certain times of day where certain rare animals will spawn. Stuff like that. And why do you want rare animals? Because when you basically groom them, you get like more special materials. Again, Island Sanctuary. This is a fun little system, but not a lot of people do it. But let's go back to the FC house. And we can kind of wrap things up because the idea of the stream today was just to show off the Alliance raid and kind of how that all works. It's big, it's flashy, there's a story involved with it, some reasons to repeat it. All right, I'm done being in the Skrill land, by the way. Let's go back to the OG, the Arc Knight set. Oh, now we're looking good. But yeah, I think that is it today for Final Fantasy for 14. Next up would really be either when that other 7.5 content, when that rolls out, that would be something we would do. Beastmaster, that'll be actually pretty fun to go through because you start at level 1 and it's its own rule set as far as how you interact with the job and level it and what you're doing with it. That's completely unique to it because Paladin, you just do battle content. You do dungeons, you do the roulette, and then you level up. That's it. With Beastmaster, you do that as well, but also you go out and capture animals. And that's very specific as well. And then they have their own endgame content that nobody's done yet. So that'd be fun to see because it tests out which beast you've collected. And it's kind of the way to, like, once you have all the animals, you take it into that end game. I think it's really like almost like another like roguelike mode where you start at a location, you choose different paths, and then the idea is obviously to get to the end for the biggest reward. So that'll be fun with Beastmaster. That'll be a whole thing. Other than that, we do have field content that's coming out later as well, which is big open world, big public space where everybody's kind of doing the same thing for different reasons. And it's just big field content. It's actually one of my favorite pieces of content. So we definitely want to spend a day talking about that and kind of showing that off because at the moment, there's three expansions that have field content. There is the first when it was introduced, or the one that's still in the game, is the one from Stormblood. It's called Eureka. Shadowbringers has its own. It's Bajja. And they all work a little bit differently, but they all kind of fall under the same umbrella. And then we took off ENDWALKER from field content, and that sucked. But Dawntrail, they brought back the another version of it. So it's not done yet, but it will be in 7.5. So that'll be fun to also experience. And then other than that, there's the part 2 of the MSQ story that's going to come. That'll be fun to go through. That'll be the big lead into the next expansion, which is coming out in January. So excited about that. But yeah, other than that, I'm thinking maybe we go through A Realm Reborn with our cat girl, kind of show the story from the beginning, because that's always fun to do. And I haven't done A Realm Reborn in like a few years, and it gets a lot of heat for being boring. Not boring, but yeah, kind of boring, poorly paced. But it's not. It's the building blocks of the game, and it's very important for everything going forward. So I like A Realm Reborn. And we can kind of highlight why it's so good, especially because you come at it from the angle of you're just this adventurer. That slowly people start realizing, hey, you're kind of a big deal. And then that turns you into the whole Warrior of Light, the Chosen One story. But I like the humble beginnings. And that's what you get in A Realm Reborn. So that is fun to go through. It's very important. But other than that, outside of 14, we kind of have the same opportunity with Guild Wars 2. Has a very similar setup where they have a story. It's very easy to follow. A lot of different choices to make as far as your class, and there's a big build craft system with Guild Wars 2 that's fun to explore, and it's also fun to talk about. obviously we'd make a ranger. We can make a ranger. In this game, we can't have a ranger because we get bard. And I don't like bard as much as I like ranger. But yeah, in Guild Wars 2, you can be a ranger. So that'd be really good. And then other than that, hell, we still have our dirge run for Baldur's Gate 3 that we could eventually start. And we don't need to kind of hit it as hard as we did with our first run, where that was every day. That was a lot of fun too. But anyways, I think that is it for me today. Thank you all for hanging around, kind of seeing what the Alliance Raid was about. I thought it was a good one, this last tier in the Alliance Raid series. And then yeah, maybe some evening streams this weekend, because I'd like to get I'd like to do Resident Evil 2, the PS1 version. That one's like one of my favorite games of all time, and just like the first one, you can get it done within like two days maybe. That are like a couple hours. Freed, thank you for hanging out. Yeah, I like being second monitor content. I just get to ramble on about whatever the hell I want, and it's always a good time. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out, and I will see you on next time. I think tomorrow. I don't know what we're gonna do tomorrow. I'll have a think about it, and then we'll see. All right, guys. See you later. Peace. Oh, and go watch our Baldur's Gate video that we released yesterday.